beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel, Soul Therapy Cafe, where we give the tea and the sparkle on your divine journey. And today I'm going to continue my series on why it's important to go on your divine journey and some of the things that you can expect. So this is part 2. I'm going to give you my next 4 things that you can come to expect on your divine journey. Number 5, your intuition definitely starts to get a lot stronger and a lot louder, which means that little voice inside, that little voice that just kind of whispers really softly like, no, do it this way, go left, do it that way. And sometimes you listen and sometimes you don't. Okay, it's very gentle, it's very soothing, it's very light, but once you get to know it, you can't forget it. And we all have been there, it's like, that little voice, you wish it would be a little bit louder or a little bit demanding, but it's all love, and it starts to get a lot more frequent, a lot louder, a lot more clear, and you can kind of like register it. You understand when it's happening. So come to expect that intuition gets louder, stronger, and you start to recognize it, and hopefully you'll follow it because it will never lead you astray. So that communication is just all present. And I would say for me, it's like the kind of thing where the intuition is really your higher self, talking to you. Sometimes, the intuition can be other things, but for the most part, it's your essence, it's your higher self that's speaking to you, that's always right and always knows what's for your highest good. You'll get used to that because it's going to be talking to you a lot more, or at least you're going to be hearing it a lot more, and hopefully you'll be following through a lot more. Okay, so your intuition starts to get stronger and clearer. It's kind of like really a different frequency, a different language. It's like a foreign language, and you have to understand it, listen, as opposed to like your first language. So you have to learn to adapt to this new frequency, this new language of your intuition, and it comes through your heart. Really, it does, instead of your ego. It's the opposite of your ego, really, because the ego is not your friend, really. Your ego just wants to control you. It wants to keep you in your comfort zone, doesn't like change, and it's all about control. Whereas the intuition is all about free will, because you have the choice to accept it or reject it, but it's always all about love, and every time you don't listen, you wish you had. So that's my number 5. You will start to hear and listen to your intuition a lot more than ever before. Okay? All right. My 6th thing to know and understand on your divine journey is that you become a lot more conscious of yourself. I like to call it like a conscious observer of yourself. For example, if you could watch yourself, you could see like the things that you do, but then you want to know like, wow, why did I do that? Or why did I not do that? Like you start to understand and observe yourself to kind of course correct. It's kind of like, you go a little bit deeper in yourself. Like, do you ever see like children and like really young children, and they're always asking like, but why? But why? But why? Or what happened? Because they're trying to understand. They're trying to get a deeper grasp and concept of like what happened and why it happened, so that they can learn. Well, it's the same thing, but you're doing it to yourself. Okay, so you become a lot more conscious of what you do and why you do it, so that you can make the adjustments. It's kind of like taking responsibility for yourself. And now that you are aware of yourself, it's like you can move accordingly. Because oftentimes before the journey, before we are awakened, we're not really always conscious of ourselves. I just gotta just tell you straight, if you really knew what you were doing while you were doing it, you probably wouldn't do half the things that you've done. So you're a lot more conscious, a lot more aware. Okay, and my next on the list, and I've written it down so I don't forget because it's a lot of material to cover and I just want to get it all to you out. So I would say this is my number 7. You start to integrate a lifestyle routine, and for a lot of us, it's like daily where we do things that kind of support our awakening to help keep our vibration high and to help keep us grounded and just connected. And whether, there's so many things that we do. And if you have something that you do that works for you on a daily basis or even a weekly basis, write it down in the comments. Let us know what you're doing that works for you, because it helps everybody when we share that kind of information. But for some of us, it's just like grounding, just, having your feet firmly planted in the earth so that you don't get kind of lost or woozy or confused or in your head all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's like having those roots going deep, 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 so that it helps to stabilize you so that you are planted firmly on solid ground. And whether that's literally or just figuratively, it doesn't matter, but it's just that knowing that you are steady and supported and stable and safe and all that stuff, so things don't like take you off course. For some of us, it's meditation. Just going within ourselves on a daily basis is something that's really powerful on the journey, because it keeps us in a high vibration and firmly connected to spirit, where we are just like checking in and listening and, just seeing what comes through, just staying connected and, like out of our heads, just like, that's not cool. Just getting out of our heads and just staying connected to spirit, seeing what the messages are or whatever. For some of us it's prayer, just communicating with a higher power, whatever you choose to call it. For some of us, we love journaling, we love yoga, breath work. I love breath work myself. We're doing all kinds of stuff, just reading. We're looking on YouTube or social media for inspiration or like-minded community or whatever that might be for you. So, we just really begin to just create, I like to say, a daily lifestyle routine that supports, this brand new journey that you're on. And it is a lifestyle. It's not something that you do and you just like stop doing it. It's really important to kind of create this new foundation for your journey that helps keep you together and solid and in the spirit of like, aligning with your higher self. So whatever that looks like for you, just keep doing it. But I think it's important, and I think you're going to find that, it's going to be very, very valuable for you on your journey. So whatever that looks like, okay? Okay. You might find that you might spend a lot of time alone as well, in solitude, whether it's being out in nature. I wanted to add that. Nature is wonderful because it's high vibrational. And, whether you're out by the beach and you're walking in the sand with your shoes off, getting grounded, just sort of like a meditational type of walk, or if you're in the mountains, hiking, a bike ride, a walk even, you're walking around the lake, in the forest, on the trail, whatever that is, that would be considered part of like a regular lifestyle, like thing or routine that you do that really supports your wellness during this journey. Okay? All right. My next thing is that you begin to see more synchronicities everywhere. And it looks a lot like things like that were probably already there, but you didn't notice, but it's kind of like speaking to you. Like, for example, all of a sudden you look at the clock and exactly at that moment, the numbers synchronize, like, 1111, 444, or 3333, or 222, or 1212, or 1010, or, whatever it is. You might see it on the clock, you might see it on your phone, you might see it on somebody's license plate, but you see it like constantly, like all day long. Some people might notice things in nature. You might notice like a formation of birds or butterflies keep following you around, or just things like, I would say that things just happen to just, like, you notice things that you didn't really notice before. And I really find that to be true, especially like, for example, when I'm doing my walk, like I'll notice like dragonflies or hummingbirds coming close to me, that sort of thing. I also notice like animals, like especially like dogs, they're always just like really looking at me like, hey, they could be walking with their masters and they're just like, they'll turn around and like look at me and stare at me, and I just think, wow. I mean, I know that they have a sixth sense, but I'm seeing this kind of like a lot. So you'll start to notice a lot more synchronicities and messages, or angel messages is what we call them. But basically, it might show up as numbers, or you might notice like certain things, like I said, in nature, like, like things that you never noticed before, but that were always there, but you're starting to notice. So that's my number 8. And I'm going to have a part 3 as well. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, donate, whatever you feel called for. We're growing the community. I'm here for you, and I need you to show up for me. So if there's anything that you'd like to add to that list, let me know, and I'll be happy to add it on the next go round. Don't forget to be present and subscribe to be alerted for part 3, what you need to know and what's important on your awakening, your divine journey. That's all I got for you, and I'll see you on the next go round.